Representative, good to see you here.
Good to see you, thanks.
You put virtually every major Republican leader on stage in Sherman on Monday night on the same stage. The message was unity within the Republican Party, but what was the hardest phone call to make?
I don't know if it was hard, but who was the hardest to lure there? Is that what you're trying to say?
Who was it?
Well, honestly, we've been waiting to have Abbott come to our district for a long time because everybody knows the governor and I didn't start off on the same ground. I would say, you know, we were at each other's throats a little bit during COVID. A lot of it on my part was just not understanding politics, and on his part, I don't know if I would want to be the leader of a state of over 30 million people with getting false news that we're hearing today with Fauci and all of these things, not really having the data. It would have been really hard to make decisions.
Well, was he the hardest to call, though? Was he the hardest to get on board?
You know, I will tell you, and I told the lieutenant governor this behind stage at the event. I'm like, you were kind of playing hard to get a little bit, and he chuckled.
Patrick was?
Yes.
Really?
Lieutenant. And he's like, well, to be honest with you, he had, and I think it was his anniversary or something was close to that night, but he said, you know, you have too many speakers there, it's going to be boring. And I'm like, you don't understand, my husband and I are in the entertainment business. My husband's a full-time musician, I'm a singer, like, we understand what it's going to take. And he's like, I don't think you're going to be able to pull this off. And I'm like, just trust me, it's going to be. And my husband did a ton of production for it.
Yeah, we saw it, yeah.
Brought in this like 16-foot video screen.
Everyone had a play out video when they walked out.
My husband created most of those.
Wow.
And we made it like a show, like the energy needed to be there, but that's where we bring our previous experience into the game. And so it was like no other rally done before. It was so fun.
Well, when you called the governor's office, though, did they bristle at this at all? Or you know, it's hard to get him scheduled. Everyone wants him in different parts of the state.
Yes.
He needs to fundraise. He keeps a busy calendar.
Yes.
But you got him to your district.
It took, I mean, we requested, and it took a couple of months to get the answer, which is because they need to see where he is on that day already, and it kind of loop in several events in the same area on the same day. So it's actually just, it fit in our schedule and fit in his. And then as soon as we got him, I started calling the others and saying, I asked the governor first if he would mind that I brought other speakers. Sure. He said no, he didn't mind. And I said, I think I'm going to get told him the list. He's like, you're not, their team's like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, oh, I like that. You know, I like when people tell me, you know, you can't do something. And so it gave me even more energy to do it.
Are you surprised you pull it off?
I am.
Yeah?
I don't say I was surprised. Looking back, I'm like, wow, we did that. But when it was happening, I was like, yeah, we're doing this.
You mentioned a moment ago that you and Governor Abbott were hardly allies 6 years ago before you got into politics. I think at one time during the COVID shutdowns, you called him a tyrant governor. But you guys are on the same page now. What changed between you? How did that relationship change?
So it's funny because the first time that I actually got to sit down with him was after I got into the legislature. So I was already a House member before the first time that we got to sit down and talk. And so it was him sitting across from me and then some of his staff sitting there. And I sit down, and of course I have like this okay, I got to kill this elephant in the room, you know, and he's just looking at me, very gracious, of course. And I said, so I'm not mad. Are you mad? I'm not. And I'm the one that went to jail, right? So you're not, and you know, and we had a short conversation, but we were able to kind of talk it out and be like, I'm not emotional about any of this. I don't have any agenda except for to do what's best for Texas. And if you're on that same page and I am too, then let's work together and do it. And he's like, let's go. And we've never looked back since then. And we can joke about it. It's funny at this point.
Indeed so. Let's talk politics here for a moment. In 2018, the last midterm with President Trump, Democrats won 12 seats in the Texas House. We've watched the enthusiasm grow on the left right now. They need 14 seats to take control. How concerned are you that they might be able to do that this go-round?
I don't see them taking 14 seats, but of course.
What's realistic though? What's realistic?
I mean, I think there's about 5 seats that are pretty close. But I know those members in those districts are working their tails off. They are meeting, they're door knocking they're doing all the things necessary to keep their seat and earn it.
And you feel confident they could keep it?
Absolutely, if they're doing the work. There's those of us that are in a little bit safer districts, more red,
Sure.
and we are going out to help those people to make sure that they know we mean business and we're here to work for it. You don't have to give it to us, we'll earn it.
Let me ask you about the rally. Did you intentionally design the rally as a message to Republicans that everyone now needs to get on board? We're 100 days out. If there's any sore feelings from the primary, it's time to get over those. Was that the intent of the rally, to design that, to put everyone on the same page?
You know what, it wasn't at first. We did not tell, obviously, any of the politicians there what to say. They were given a time that you say whatever you want, it's your stage. Especially for myself, I didn't speak very much because we were in my district. Those people hear me all the time. I just wanted to be there and give them an opportunity and let my constituents hear from Austin directly, and it was a big deal for everybody. But it definitely wasn't like, you need to speak about this, we're talking about unity, anything like that.
Okay. The biggest race on the ballot, Representative, is the U.S. Senate race. I've heard from Republicans, you may have as well, who say, listen, I voted for Cornyn, Paxton's just not my guy. I can't bring myself to vote for him. How concerned are you that they could cost Paxton the election?
I mean, anything's possible, especially in politics. But from what I'm hearing and with the reception that Ken Paxton got at my rally, he's doing great. They love Ken Paxton all over in North Texas. So,
but he needs to win the independent vote. I mean, clearly Republicans, most Republicans, look like they're on his side, but winning the independent vote is what Republicans never really had trouble with, because independents lean right in this state. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be harder for him this year than his predecessors?
I don't know if it's going to be harder, but I think that he can get a lot of the independent vote as well, because he fought so hard for Texas and he's been in the news so much. How can you not love everything that his office has done? He has showed out and, shown up for us, for sure.
What do you make of these polls that show Tallarico barely ahead or ahead? You don't believe them? You don't buy it?
No, I think those are Democrat polls, and if anything, they're close, but Tallarico's not ahead right now.
Even the UT Austin poll back in April and May showed Tallarico ahead by 2 points. That's still within the margin of error. How close do you think this race is going to be?
I think it'll be close. It's going to be close for sure, and we can't take anything for granted. We can't say this is Texas, we stay red. We need to do the work necessary to make sure that the voters, we have more Republican voters, we just need to get them out. And for that statewide race, we need to make sure that Texans realize, even if you live in a red district like mine, every vote matters for these statewide candidates. You can't just sit at home because I'm safe. You've got to get out, and we've got to make the rural communities get out and vote.
Are you asking Cornyn voters to vote for Paxton or vote against James Tallarico?
Both.
Yeah?
I mean, some of the stuff that Tallarico has said is just Looney Tunes to me. And yeah, is he a respectable guy? Is he nice when you talk to him and he seems normal? But all of the video clips of him, the words coming out of his mouth is the opposite of what Texas stands for. And I think that he's dug himself a little hole. There's too much footage of him saying crazy things.
And just to make sure I understand the finer point here too, how confident are you that Cornyn voters are going to show up for Paxton? That was a bitter primary we all watched.
It definitely was, but I mean, it's still bitter for Tallarico and the Crockett. So they're going through the same thing. So they each have something to come over, get over the primary. They still have some baggage from that, both of them. Yeah. So I'm saying if the Democrats didn't have any baggage, I probably would be concerned, but right now that baggage is louder than what I'm hearing on the other side.
So they both have baggage. Which person can overcome the baggage then?
That's right.
Single biggest threat to Republican turnout in November, what do you think it is?
Getting the rural Republicans out to vote, I think, because they feel so safe in their districts. We don't have the presidential election to boost them, and a lot of people only vote every 4 years, and we've got to not be lazy in these rural districts where I could sit at home and be lazy if I want to. if I was only concerned about my race. That's not going to work. We've got to get out and say, vote your values. We also need preachers and pastors in churches to tell people they should be voting. It's part of their duty as a citizen to get out and vote their values.
If you had to identify one issue that Republicans have to improve on over the next 90 days, what would that be?
I think Republicans need to meet people where they are and really see that, like, last session we were able to get into the Republican legislature people that are regular people like me. I consider myself just a regular person. I'm not an attorney. I'm not flooded with money. You know, I come from a humble beginning, you know, all of these things. And I really relate well with people. And we need people to see that a lot of the GOP, the Republican Party in the Texas House and Senate, is like that now too. We can relate to you. We understand when gas is too expensive, that hurts us too. And a lot of the things that they're feeling hurts us too, and we understand and we want to do something about it.
Some of these things are outside Republican control, though. Well, let me rephrase that. Some of these things are outside Texas control with inflation, gas prices, the war in Iran. I mean, these could dog Republican races, couldn't they? These issues?
They can. They can do it. And it's not like the state is doing anything to make, you know, it's like not much that we can do. And a lot of people want us to do something like right this minute when we only meet every other year. And a lot of people are wanting like the governor to call a moratorium on things, and that's not in his authority. I asked his office.
About data centers and things like that?
All of the things like that.
Sure.
They're like, call a moratorium, but he's only able to do those king-like powers during an emergency, which is how I, you know, ended up in so much trouble during COVID.
During the emergency.
Yes.
A couple last questions here too. What are you personally going to be doing over the next 96 days?
Well, first of all, I take them one day at a time.
Yeah?
I'll tell you, one day at a time. And I'm going to make sure that people are registered to vote. I'm going to be out communicating with my constituents, which I do anyway. Encouraging my colleagues to get out of their house and be good representation of our party, and basically getting out the vote. Just getting out the vote to make sure we have the votes. We just need to make sure people show up. Day one, we want them to vote on the first day of early voting.
Have you worked this hard in the past? I mean, it seems like everyone's really, really working hard right now. I know people have worked hard in the past, but this seems different this cycle. Is it?
It's different, but I've worked this hard. It's just part of me and who I am. My husband and I have knocked thousands of doors, up to 10,000 doors in a legislative session, and lost the race. So
I remember that race. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not afraid of hard work, but now that we have a win under our belt, and have a little bit more, I guess. I don't want to say authority, that's not the word, but like people are listening to what we have. Influence,
Sure.
That's a good word. A little bit more influence is a little bit easier, which means we can do even more work if we stay hardworking.
Your role in the Republican Party of Texas right now, what do you think that is? You just pulled off this huge show, the Red River Roll Call. What is your role moving forward?
I think it's anything I need to be. In anything that I need to be to make sure that we keep Texas, Texas. That's what I'll do.
Do you have aspirations for higher office?
I do what God tells me I need to do. And right now I'm needed right where I am, doing exactly what I'm doing.
Representative, good to see you. Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much.